Hello everyone, Jason here. I'd like to begin by saying I did not take down the Jeranism is Deceiving You exposed 160-mile sunset bullshit, plus how far can we really see? I didn't take this down. I got up this morning and saw that YouTube locked it as private. Alright, so I click on this. I've already submitted an appeal, but it says due to YouTube's policies prohibiting misleading tags, this video has been locked as private. So I submitted an appeal. Let me show you what I got for a response. Here's the response that I got. Hi Awake Souls, we're very sorry, but your appeal of video Jeranism is Deceiving You exposed 160-mile sunset bullshit plus how far can we really see was unsuccessful. Why did this happen? This video's metadata included unrelated or misleading tags in the description or tag section. This is prohibited in accordance with YouTube's metadata policies. What can I do now? Videos can only be appealed once. However, if you believe you corrected the issues, you can upload and publish a new copy of the video. Well, that's what I'm doing right now. Thank you, YouTube. So what I'd like to do is show you the key words that I used. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to show you, this is vidIQ. This is a program that you can install that shows you a lot more detail analytically as far as your search engine optimization when you're using YouTube. And so it gives you a bunch of numbers up here. It shows on this video is getting 41.7 views per hour with a total of 1375 views. Picked up 4 new subs from it. 20.7% of the views were by subscribers of mine. It shows how people watched it. It shows where people watched it from. It's showing 94.5% of the views on YouTube. This is ridiculous. This was put on StumbleUpon, and I saw within the first 30 minutes there were already 55 views on StumbleUpon. Yeah, so they're playing with these numbers on my YouTube channel. This doesn't make sense. This SEO score, it's at 46.2. When the video went up, it was 70.2. Okay, this turns green right here. What that has to do with is the way it's titled, the way it's tagged, and the way your description is put together on a video. You get an SEO score. And so it was high and now it's low. And this is evidence that there is SEO war taking place right now, that there are channels out there that the way they are tagging their videos and the way they're putting their descriptions together, that is driving down my SEO score. So this number really doesn't matter a whole lot right now because YouTube took the video down because of my video tags. So let's see how this video is tagged. This right here are the tags for this video. This is my channel tags down here, but the video tags read, Jeranism is Deceiving You exposed 160-mile sunset bullshit plus how far can we really see? This is the exact title of the video. Okay, I do this because that helps, you know, I want people that are looking for this information to find, you know, so the title of the video and the video tags, I make it match, and then I go on and add other ones. Jeranism exposed, Jeranism deceiving you, awake souls spelled differently in case people didn't spell it with a space. Jason Laufenberg, Event Skeptic, Ronnie Harris, Team Yahawashai. Okay, this is a hashtag that I created so that anybody that does the hashtag Team Yahawashai are going to come to our videos. All right, so I'm trying to be smart about this, trying to make sure that people looking for this content find it. I have it tagged Flat Earth. I have it tagged Flat Earth Shills, Nikon P-900, Clouds Behind the Sun, Clouds Behind the Moon, Local Sun, Simulation, Simulation Theory, Matrix, Holographic Universe, simulation proof, largest lens, zoom lens, world's most powerful zoom lens. Okay, that is exactly what this video is about. I ask anybody out there to try to come up with more accurate tags than these. What would you say? So when I repost this now, I don't know what to change. I don't know that I am going to change anything. I'm going to use these exact same tags again. And here's my channel tags. So this is vidIQ. It's a nice little tool. There is SEO war taking place right now. My video, I got sniped on Globebusters. I had the hangout with Lori Ferry taken down, and now YouTube taking down video for misleading video tags. Let's take a look at some other examples quick. Here you got David of Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole reposting a video of his. Here's somebody that makes $405 a month with their YouTube, picks up 70 subs a day. He's got a terrible SEO score here, and if you look at his tags, you can understand why. It says Flat Earth, Friend of Yahweh, Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole, Flat Earth Debunked. So there's not many tags here. They don't match the title of the video. Friend of Yahweh, that's misleading. This video has nothing to do with Friend of Yahweh. That's weird. And because of that, it's got a terrible SEO score. So let's take a look at Jeranism and his video that he made, Awake Souls, Take the Bet or Quit the Nonsense, Kenegu from Aluk. These should be acceptable video tags. This video has not been taken down. Here's a channel that makes $821 a month, 104 average daily new subs. He's got a bad SEO score here. His video tags: Flat Earth, Conspiracy, Flat Earth, Jeranism, NASA, Globe, Sphere, Truth, Deception, Reality, Space, Astronomy, Astronaut, Awake Souls, Event Skeptic, Ronnie, Jason, Globebusters, Shills. Okay, your tags here don't match the title of your video. All right, so that's killing your SEO score. You call out me and Ronnie, which is fine. I called you out. You call us shills. I call you deception. There's no difference, right? Right. So what? You take things like this. I take things like this. It's exactly about the content of my video. I don't see the problem with it. Who does? All right. So I have to, repost the video right now because you guys got it taken down, but I'm just going to keep putting it back up. Now, for those of you that do not know that Jeran made a response to my video already, here it is. So Ronnie and Jason, the satanic clowns, right? Wake Souls, Take the Bet or Quit the Nonsense, Kenegu from Aluk. Now, I apologize to all of my subscribers and commenters. I had amazing comments on my video. So many that I've given the heart to because they were fantastic. Your comments are gone now. But there is good news. The comments on Jeran's video here, there is some good things to be learned over here. And I just want to point out a commenter on Jeran's video. Ouch, what's with the sacrilegious attitude, bro? You know the earth is flat and it's a closed system, right? Then who built it? If it's not God, then who made all this? At least clarify your position. If you don't believe in God, what do you believe in? And so when you look through these comments, you've got other people answering for Jeran. A well-placed grenade says, Lawrence, I'm pretty sure he believes in God, just thinks religion is BS, same as me. That got a heart from Jeran. Freight Train, what does God have to do Why does God have to be the God of the Bible? All roads lead to Rome. Wake up, people. That also got a heart. So Jeran doesn't actually say anything within these comments here. He said he pinned the top comment. So we're going to read that. But here, frankly frank, this makes my heart rejoice. It says, Jeran, you don't make any sense at all. The real truthers are rejecting you in hordes. Unsubscribe from Jeran. He is a tool of Satan, whether he knows it or not. And that one deserves a heart. So Jeran's not giving responses yet. He does address frankly frank. How do I not make sense? All I would ask is, if you are going to say something like that, inform me of what is not clear. I am a tool of Satan, ? Well, clearly you are a tool. Frankly frank is getting hammered on in the comments here, but his words are so good and true. He asks, you know, you can tell he's got a sincere heart and he wants Jeran to look at stuff. This comment right here, right? This is one of the perplexing things about the flat earth community, that they can see this place is a creation of intelligent design and not care at all about the designer. That's amazing, Frank. Absolutely amazing. Let's take a look at what's Jeran's response. He was getting hit by a lot of people. You're going to see, I'm going to play some of his video. He was mocking the creator like crazy. So, his response to everybody, this is pinned by Jeran. If you think I am mocking God, then you have no sense of humor at all, nor do you understand the basis of every video I make. I will never mock the creator. However, I will mock every sad, pathetic human creation that people might call God. Are you referring to Jesus, Yahweh there? God never spoke to any of you. And if he did, then that conversation was for you only, or else he would have spoken to everyone. All names that people want to call God or call their Savior come from ancient Hebrew or Roman kings who have hidden God's name and replaced it in your divine scripture as the word Lord. This is what I talk about, but we do know the correct name. Yahweh. Obviously, these men took what may or may not have been divine words and replace them as they saw fit. So whether you say Yahweh or Jehovah or Jesus or Yahweh or Yahuwah or Larry, you have placed your trust in men. Probably the dumbest choice ever made by anyone. All right, people, do you see Jeran's position on Christianity? All right. He's a Jesuit. Went to a Jesuit school. He keeps going. You believe what men have told you, so much so that most of you have accused your God of murder, infanticide, genocide, and many other crimes you rationalize by calling those crimes judgment. You also trust men who tell you Jesus will be returning, dropping out of the sky on a cloud. Where is the book written by Jesus? Oh, there isn't one. So you again are taking the words of men and trying to tell others that they are true. If you think God chose ink and paper to communicate with you, knowing that Stephen King, Nora Roberts, Aleister Crowley, and several million others would communicate via the same method, then enjoy that low-functioning creator that someone else has taught you. You might say that I am mocking God, but let's really think who is mocking God. I say that God has never killed anyone. Why would I ever accuse God of such acts? Just because you do? Because men tell you what God did, what he said, and what his plans were. Who is mocking God? The ones giving him a name as he is owned by someone or needs a name? The ones accusing him of atrocious acts and giving him human vices? The ones who believe in sky dwellers currently building mansions, while the one who taught love your enemies and turn the other cheek waits for the perfect time to come like a thief in the night to slaughter all the infidels with a sword of vengeance? Do they mock God? or the ones who is trying to wake humanity and move them out of the toddler's beliefs and make up names for the creator of all as if they spoke to him right after accusing me of being a Satanist deceiver? Open your mind. The truth is nowhere else. Yeah, everybody, that's Jeran for you. That's how he feels about Christianity, the creator of this world. All right, is that who you want to get your information from? He's a Satanist. He's on the other team.
All of a sudden I saw it was because Jason from Awake Souls and his boyfriend Ronnie were making a video. Scary combination. It'd be like having Larry King and Cosby as the bartenders of your daughter's wedding.
Now, I just got to stop you for a second, Jeran. This right here is CIA, Jesuit, MK Ultra, satanic mind control. All right. You used the clown theme before. You use the colorful letters. You got the circus music in the background. You got these satanic characters here. This is mind control.
Not a great idea. So before we begin, I always like to say a prayer to Yahweh. So if you would be so kind as to bow your heads. And we begin as we always do in the name of Yahweh Shaddai and of the Yahweh Shun and of the Yahweh Spirit. Yahwishi, I hope you're well. I also know you listen to my prayers. There's only 6.5 billion of us on the earth right now, so even if every human had only 1 second of their life to pray to you, that's 206 years that it would take you just to hear every human prayer. So obviously you can hear all of our prayers at once, because what kind of creator would expect anything less besides the constant crying and the wailing and the asking and the begging. So I know you love that part. So, please bless my video, and please forgive Jason for being basically a sack of shit. Please forgive him for using my name in all his video titles. Please forgive Ronnie for backstabbing Jason eventually. I know he hasn't done it yet, but I mean, come on. Yahweh Hoshi, you know the future. You know that the guy's got an established track record. Okay, it's going to happen. Forgive them for calling me a Satanist. While lying worse than, well, anyone else. Also, Yamaha, I'm thinking about the mansion that you've been building up there for me, and call me crazy, but aren't you God? So couldn't you just snap your fingers and then they'd be done? I don't know, it just seems like 2,000 years. It's like a slow building project for, well, Yoshi Haushi. So just don't be too harsh on Jason or Ronnie. They were born in sin, and so it's not hard to call people deceivers with no evidence, because they just don't have to be accountable for their actions, because Jesus died for their sins, thank goodness. Or not Jesus, Yehoshahush. So, they have it rough. I mean, it's not their fault. It's Satan's, really. I mean, that's really what you need to see. It's Satan. He's just causing all this trouble. Anyway, thanks for the talk, and thanks for the time. I know I went way over my 1 second, but I hope you got it, and I hope my mansion is coming along just great. Okay, well, Yamaha and Yamahuer, all praise to be you two. Big ups. Yeah.
In your challenge video that you made, Jeran, at 8 minutes, you try to make me look like an idiot because I am showing footage of a sunrise that I recorded in St. Martin myself. And in this sunrise, it does not have the reflection of the sun in the water. And this is one of the things that I was accusing your footage of being CGI for, because it didn't have that. Well, your footage doesn't have the sun coming out of the water like mine does. And this is a strange anomaly. Let's take a look at this real quick. Let's go to an independent third party, Flat Earth Photography. He's got a P-900 and has recorded the sunrise out over the ocean. This is a person with 6,500 subs. His footage is trusted by people. He's showing a sunrise here. You can see as it starts coming out of the water, you get this curl, this little flare at the end. This is P-900 footage. This is typical of what you see in a sunrise over water. You see how it's got this curve right here? We're going to get to the liftoff. We have liftoff, Houston. Let's play this real quick. It's amazing. The reason why I left that clip in there, Jeran, is hoping that you would probably grasp at it. Now, one of the things that you can see in this footage is birds flying across the face of the sun real clearly. They are not obscured by the brightness. Okay, here comes the liftoff. This is what we see. Look at that energy. All right. Sun just came out of the water out there. You can see the birds across the face of the sun. There's clouds behind the sun. It's going to pass up higher and higher here. It's going to go through layers of clouds as it's ascending. You see the size of it? Okay. This is P-900 footage. Once it gets up to a certain elevation, a lot of these he's zoomed in, he's going to back out right around here. There we go. You see the reflection in the water? Oh, take it back a second. You see that reflection in the water? When the sun is coming out of the water, it does not leave a reflection in the water. As it gets higher and higher, it leaves a reflection in the water. The sun is above the water. Let's take a look at your footage. So you're showing at 12:44 in your challenge video footage that was in your original 160-mile video. And here we go. Sun is up way above the water. We can see clouds behind it. No reflection in the water. Let's keep going here. Okay, this is up above the water. It's not when it's rising out of the water. No reflection here. Take a look at the rest of these clips. You're showing as evidence there's no reflection in the water in any of them. Let's do a real quick study of how to spot CGI in pictures that have a sunset over water. So here's a picture of, I'm doing a search for picture of sunset at beach. Be careful with your search here. If you just do sunsets, what you get is mostly all CGI pictures. This reflection in the water is typical of the reflection that you get when the sun is up above the horizon. The lower and lower it gets to the horizon, you'll see, like in this picture right here, now this is an observer on a beach and the sun's very low. Now that reflection is just lightly scattered. Now, as you look through these, you'll see some of these might be CGI. This one's not showing a reflection. It is low to the water, but it's also art. So we don't even know that this is, just an actual photograph. Look for that reflection in the water. The lower the sun gets, that reflection dissipates. Okay, the footage that you're showing has the sun up high. There should be a reflection in the water. So your ego, it's crazy. It's always some bet, right? We got to spend some money. This is going to be some sort of, it's got to hurt financially. You want to travel there. We got to pay our way, and then there's going to be, $1,000 prize for whoever wins. I put challenges out, but just for debates. I want people to argue their position. I want to argue my position. I want to use logic and reason. I want to talk to the audience. I want people to choose for themselves what they think is the truth. These are the type of challenges I propose. These winning prize money and traveling around like that, to me, there's some sort of weird ego thing going on with this. We can do this right here in the States, real simply. Watch. So over here in North America, Jeran, we've got the Rocky Mountains. Okay, this is our backyard. We've got the Rocky Mountains, you know, Colorado, we've got Denver, right along the Rocky Mountains. I don't know of any other two like big name cities along here. Once you get up into Canada, you've got Calgary and Edmonton. Well, from Denver, you can see the Rockies. You know, everybody's seen that. From Calgary, you can see the Rockies, but from Edmonton, you can't. So it's less than 160 miles. Check this out. So let's talk about Edmonton, because this is a place that Ronnie of Event Skeptic has lived out in that area. He's lived in Calgary and in between Calgary and Edmonton. And he has personal testimony of being able to see the Rocky Mountains from Calgary, but not from where he was living between Calgary and Edmonton, and definitely not from Edmonton. So if you do a search on YouTube, can you see the Rockies from Edmonton? It takes you to this Yahoo Answers. Somebody was asking, are the Rocky Mountains visible from Edmonton? Just wondering. The answers, not at all. If you drive southwest for about 2 hours, then you can start to see the mountains. But all you can see from Edmonton is the horizon, buildings or hills. Next one. No, I've been to Edmonton a few times and I haven't seen them from there. Calgary, on the other hand, is a different story. You can actually see the Rockies there from most places. But don't take my word for it. I've only been there like 5 times and never really paid attention. Seems too far away from Calgary. Sure, the mountains would be visible. No, I don't think you can see them even as hills until you get past Edson. And right now with the smoke, you can't even see the mountains in Jasper. Even in Calgary, you have to be out of the city, higher up. In Edmonton, they are much too far away. The nearest place to get a beautiful mountain panoramic view is about 145 kilometers southwest from Edmonton, just north of South Buck Lake, between Winfield and Brenton, probably a 1 3/4 hour drive from Edmonton. There is a large hill just north of the lake called Buck Mountain. There is a road to the top, but it's a private road, and there is a cell site tower up there also. A hike to the top is worth the view. If you don't fancy hiking, then drive to the town of Adder Flats, just west of Winfield. When going through the town, look for a road called Larson's Road. It goes south from the village. There is a hill a couple miles south from there that provides a fantastic mountain vista when you crest the hill. This is how far we can see. So let's take a look at the distance from Edmonton to the Rockies here. So I'm going to start right from the downtown center here. Say that, you want to be up in one of the high-rise buildings to look out over the tops of the trees and anything else that might be in the way. But this is all plains here. Total plains. And then you get out here, you got these white-capped mountains. Look at this. This row here is coming in at 150 miles. Here's 160 out here. You got plenty of mountains here to see from Edmonton, but you can't. I ask everyone to do some research on the longest line of sight photographed. Try different search terms, but when you're looking to see how far you can see, they always want to show you stars and tell you that they're trillions of light years away. So looking through these here, lines of sight beyond horizons. This is going to be one of your top choices. This is a good one to check out. It gives you certain gaps, the distance between these mountains, and whether or not it's been done. So as you start scrolling down through here, the first one that's been done, guess which one it is? Canigou, okay? Keep scrolling. Here's another one that's been done. Now, when you click on Canagoo, oops, that page can't be found. But when you come down here and check this one, here we go. This is supposed to be 307 kilometers away. All right. Gives the estimated heights of these peaks here. Look at the lens that was used. This is a 100 to 400 millimeter lens. It's got some sort of converter that's supposed to make it 560 millimeters. The Nikon P-900 is 2000 millimeter focal length. Here's your big picture. There's your crop. And what they're showing you is some clouds in the background. And you're being told that you can see 307 kilometers. Okay? All of these long distance shots that they're saying are forgeries, fakes. They've been set up. This is planted disinfo. Everybody be smart. Use your eyes. Study this. Does this make sense? Have you seen that far yourself? So how about that ever so popular Joshua Nowicki photograph of the Chicago skyline from Michigan? Well, I did a search for flat earther Rob Skiba faking Chicago skyline, and Aaron Dover had a video January 1st, 2017. Now supposedly he's dead. Flat Earth is Rob Skiba's misty Chicago made of CGI. Well, let's see what Joshua Nowicki says about the photograph himself. For those of you that can't read this on your phone, I'll read it for you. This is Joshua Nowicki Photography on Facebook. It says, looking toward Chicago, Illinois from Grand Mere State Park in Stevensville, Michigan on 4/28/15 at 9:26 p.m. Canon 6D, photo taken at 200 millimeters from the top of a dune. The image as shown on Facebook is cropped in so that you can see the building better. I wish I had a larger lens to use. F 6.3, 20 seconds, ISO 100. And check out this comment he received from Topper Peterson. Excellent quality, 90 miles from point to point, mighty powerful lens. Joshua Nowicki Photography responds, the image is cropped in. It was taken at 200 millimeters. I'll leave a link to Aaron Dover's video, Flat Earth is Rob Skiba's Misty Chicago made of CGI, in the description box. At this point in the video right here that Rob Skiba made, he's saying, that's the proof, everybody. That's the proof. And he wasn't kidding. So how far can we see? That's what I would like to know. I'm going to hashtag up how far can we see. I'm going to tag this into all my research, and I recommend that you hashtag your research to this as well. And let's figure it out together just how far we can see, because what we've been seeing and being shown is CGI. So keep your eyes open as you do this research. Hello everyone, Jason here. I just wanted to point out to you something that's happening with Jeranism. His latest video here, I want to show you some comments that are going on here with me and David of Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole. So I asked, any idea what camera was used to film those mountains 160 miles away? My P-900 is grainy at 10 miles. David of Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole. This is a channel with, 31,500 subscribers. Not just your average Joe Blow. He's one of the big flat earthers. He responded to me, out of everybody, on Jeran's video here. He says, it's just a silhouette of dark and light, so it isn't grainy. Well, I responded, I thought it was because the footage Jeran uses CGI. At 6:14, the foreground, near shoreline, is clearly in focus, and the sun is so close, you can see the clouds behind it. I film this all the time when I know that the footage of the sun shown here is impossible at a distance of more than 20 miles. At 20 miles, the clouds and the horizon have merged due to angular resolution, and even the P-900 is incapable of zooming in and bringing back enough detail to see clouds in front of and behind the sun. Anyone who has recorded a sunset with a P-900 should recognize that the sunset shown in this video is the typical sunset you record when you are at ground level and the horizon is 3 miles away. The size of the sun, the illumination of the clouds around it. It's just been photoshopped into another scene. It's pretty, but it is fake and being used to mislead people. You know I'm going to expose this deception, right? And I pointed this out to Ronnie of Event Skeptic, and he responded, "Where's the amazing straight line sun reflection leading straight to the camera's eye? Clearly fake." Timestamped at 6:16. You love animation. So what I want to do is I want to point out to you that the clips that Jeran is using are clearly CGI. We'll step through that real quick, and we got to ask the question, what is going on here? I think I have the answer, and I just want to shout it out. So after going into a little bit of detail here, making it look like you've done your homework and that, this is all well documented, you show this footage of what's supposed to be 160 miles as a flat earth debunk proof. And what you can clearly see is that the footage that you're sharing here, Jeran, is not of a 160-mile sun. Everyone that's watched P-900 footage of a sunset knows that this is a sunset taken from ground level, and in order to have this type of detail where you get to see the ripples along the edge like this is zoomed in, probably not all the way to a full optical zoom, like 83x. It's probably short of that, but there is a focal length that you get to where all of a sudden you get past the glare of the sun and you can see this happening. That is what we're seeing from the P-900 footage. And I can guarantee everyone that there is no P-900 footage of the sun with this kind of detail where it's 160 miles away. Think about it. Think about 160 miles from you seeing the sun like this with the P-900. It's absurd. So here's the next clip that you play of a sunset, supposedly that 160 miles. And let's take a closer look at this one. Make this big. I'm just going to let this footage roll a little bit. And I'm going to stop it right about here. Now you can see there is this reflection right here. Okay, here's the sun. We've got some sort of silhouette here. There is a reflection right at this horizon edge. But then all of what's supposed to be water in this area right here, there is no reflection of the sunset again. Okay, look at how big the sun is here. They're saying this is 160 miles away. There is no reflection in the water. This reminds me of footage that I took from the beach standing at ground level. Take a look and see what you think. So for my Flat Earth Sunrise compilation in St. Martin, this is some of the very first footage that I ever took. This is a sunrise. And let's take a better look at this. And we'll let this play. You see this? Do you see the illumination on the clouds local right around the sun? You see this is a cloud right at the waterline, which is really strange, but you get that reflection right here at the horizon, some sort of a flare. It's interesting, don't understand it completely, but this is a local sunrise. This is with a P-900. This is me standing at the edge of the water. The camera's probably 6 feet above the water. The horizon is 3 miles away. That's what it takes in order to get this kind of footage. And it's being promoted by you, Jeran, as being 160 miles away. That's ridiculous. And then you've got this footage, which, by the way, is absolutely incredible clouds behind the sun footage. I have been shouting this for a while, and you refuse to accept it, or you say that I'm crazy for thinking it, but people that have eyes to see can see that these clouds are behind the sun. Okay, this was shot with a P-900. This is very local. Let's give this a little bit better look. Okay, these ripples on the sun like this is when a person standing at ground level films the sun. This is what they see. They see those clouds behind the sun as well. There's some in front, a little bit here. I don't know where the false background was put into this CGI footage right here. It could be right here at the horizon. Maybe those hills are part of the CGI. But this is obviously P-900 footage showing clouds behind the sun, a super close local sun. This is not 160 miles away. So I did a quick search of YouTube looking for this view that you're pointing out, this Canugu Peak seen from Aluc, France. And one of the first clips that showed up is one of the clips that you use in your video. This is the one that I pointed out that shows the clouds behind the sun so well. Let's just take a look at this, everyone. And it's amazing footage. All right, everyone. Here's some powerful footage, some powerful music. Isn't this the music that you use, David? Deep inside the rabbit hole? The one person that comments on my comment giving Jeran trouble over using CGI footage? Is this your footage, David? Look at those clouds behind the sun. Do you see this? There are clouds behind the sun. You can see clouds in front of the sun. You can see clouds behind the sun. This is not 93 million miles away. This isn't 3,000 miles away. It's not 1,000 miles away. It's not 160 miles away. You can see clouds behind the sun. These are clouds that are in your view. You can only see 3 miles to the horizon on flat ground. There are clouds behind the sun. And that is proof that you are in a simulation. So there's a reason why I asked this question. Any idea what camera was used to film those mountains 160 miles away? My P-900 is grainy at 10 miles. So it's obvious that it's video that was recorded. So what camera is capable of recording the sun that size, that distance, 160 miles? Let's check and see. So here we go, the Nikon Coolpix P-900 focal length. All right, here's the response. This is the Nikon P-900, new king of the super zooms. So it has an 83x optical zoom lens that ranges from a 35 millimeter equivalent. This is the format, 35 millimeter. So in 35 millimeter format, the zoom is 24 millimeters to 2,000 millimeter zoom range. Okay, that's big. Let's put that in perspective. So before the P-900, this right here was the largest lens that Nikon ever made. This is a 2,000 millimeter lens. Do you see the size of this thing? Take a look at this. It's heavy. It requires a super stand to stand on, and then you have to mount your camera on the back of it as well. The telephoto capacity of this lens right here, optically, is the same as the P-900. They have the same optical capacity. You can buy this 2,000 millimeter lens. It's on eBay. It's going to cost you on the low end here $20,000. This one's $26,000. It's on sale. It was 32,000. This is just a 2,000 millimeter lens. That's what the P-900 has. Okay, the P-900 is incredible. But you might be thinking to yourself, well, the P-900 is just a handheld camera. It surely can't see the farthest out of all the tools that we have available, right? So I looked up the largest focal length telescope, okay? Here, this for amateurs, the Orion 50-inch Monster Dobsonian telescope. Now in this paragraph right here, it says it has 187.5 inch of focal length. But don't let that deceive you. We're going to look at the specs on this thing. So to get an idea how big this thing is, the 50-inch, here's the size of a human. This looks like it should be able to see a lot farther than a P-900, right? Well, if we take a look at the specs, when we go through here, we get to focal length, 4,765 millimeters. Okay, this is more than the P-900. It's a little over double, right? So the focal length of this thing, it should be able to see farther than the P-900. I'll give you that. But let's take a look at something else. So I kept looking to see if there was anything else that had a longer focal length than the Orion 50-inch telescope. Remember, that was 4765 millimeter focal length. So I found Canon's 5200 millimeter prime lens. Take a look at the size of this thing. This is a camera lens. A little video here. I found another article that's got a little bit more information in it. So this thing was selling for $45,000. There were 0 bids on it. These pictures right here, an old advertisement. This is the camera sitting on a stand. You see the size of this thing? Taken with a 50 millimeter lens. All right, you can see how far away that water tower is. Now, with a 5200 millimeter lens. Now, anybody that's got a P-900 knows that they can get this type of zoom capability out of the P-900. Now, there's a little video here I'd like to show you. This statement right here is the ultra important one. It says this is the only ultra telephoto lens in the world capable of taking photographs of objects 18 to 32 miles away. That's a far cry short of 160 miles. All right. This is the largest lens in the world. It's got the highest focal length, 5200 millimeters. All right. This can't see 160 miles. What were they recording with? The footage that you're showing. Now there's a video on YouTube about this 5200 millimeter Canon lens, the world's most powerful super telephoto. It's got over 3 million views on it. Now when you go into the description box, there's some important information because in this video there is a simulated magnification. It's not the actual lens being used. It's explained here that the way it was simulated comes out to a 3700 millimeter equivalent. Now we're going to take a look at that, the 3700 millimeter equivalent, but this is real obvious. To make it clear, the video is simulated, not shot with the actual 5200 millimeter lens, since it is a prime. Now people that know about lenses, a prime lens is not one that is zoomable. It's not adjustable. It's just one fixed length. So this lens can only shoot at its 5200 millimeter lens. There's no zooming possible. So let's look at the 3700 millimeter simulated telephoto process. I'm going to make this larger here. And so right here, let's get some perspective. This building in the background right here is what we're going to be zooming into. So take a look around and you can see that, you know, this street right here, we might be at 1 block. This street right you know, between these buildings here, we might be at a second block. There's probably a third block here, and maybe somewhere between 3 and 4 blocks that building is away from us. Okay, this is a close building. This is in a city. This is not miles and miles away. So as we jump in closer and closer, this is looking great. This is fantastic. This is incredible zoom power. Now we're getting to the point where a person is going to show up in a window. Now I'm just going to go back a little bit, and I want you to see what happens when you get out to this level of zoom. There's going to be this wavy distortion. So just take a look at this footage. You see that waviness? Okay, that's all they're going to show you. I film with the P-900 all the time. When you're at full zoom like that, that waviness gets worse and worse and worse the farther away something is. We have a limit as far as how far we can see. We can't see forever. I don't think at 20 miles, things are so distorted that the detail's gone. The idea that you're promoting that we can see that sunset the way we're seeing it 160 miles away is such rubbish, it makes me mad. Here's a little demonstration I did with the P-900. This is in my Part 4 Nikon P-900 Sun, Moon, and Stars Rise and Set Within 10 Miles of View Definitive Proof Series. So I go through the effort of showing you where I'm filming from. I'm filming the tallest building in Austin. I use Google. I show you that it's 9.36 miles away. Let's see what happens. Now I'm using manual focus. You can see me adjusting it back and forth, trying to get maximum clarity. So I'm taking it both directions, showing that this isn't a focusing issue. I'm showing you both too far, too near. There we go, 9.3 miles. You see the haziness all around the edge? Do you see the distortion? Do you see the graininess? It's a 2000 millimeter lens. Okay. You can't see 160 miles. You can't do it. Not possible. You're not going to find a lens that can do it. Those big telescopes can't do it. That Canon lens can't do it. Jeran, why are you promoting this CGI and manipulated footage disinfo? The title of your video suggests that you're doing it to debunk the globe, but we don't need CGI manipulated footage to debunk the globe. There's plenty of evidence that we're not on a spinning ball without using this kind of deceptive footage. The reason why I believe you're doing this is because there are people out there, me and many others, that are using the P-900 and we're recording things like clouds behind the sun and the moon. We're starting to realize just how close everything's happening. And you're trying to muddy the waters with the idea that we can see something like this 160 miles away. Well, I'm not going to stand for it, and I'm going to help other people to see that this is not the case.